Good morning. This is a Scrap Your Stash Wednesday, and I'm going to be using an older paper pack. I know it's not scraps, but it is part of my stash, and I need to use up my stash. So I have like 6 or 7 of these papers in particular because this is the bulk. So this is quite a lot of paper in there, and I need to use it up. So I'm going to be using that. My coordinating cardstocks is Canary, and then I'm going to be using the May stamp of the month from this year, and that is, I believe it was May, and that's the butterfly. So if you're curious about that, oh, I guess it was March. So March stamp of the month. For some reason I thought it was May. I should have known because I used this in my March workshop. So we're going to be doing a fun fold card. I'm going to grab my trimmer. So I'm going to need a trimmer and a scoring tool, which I have for my trimmer. So I'm going to go ahead and trim first. I'm going to trim everything down first. Then I'm going to score what I need to. Okay, so I also have white daisy here. This will be probably for sentiment uses. This will be for the remainder of the card. So here's my strip of Canary. Right now I believe it's a 4-inch, 4-inch, so I need to cut it down to 8-inch. It's a 4-inch by 12, so I'm just going to trim off 4 inches. I do need this to be trimmed down even further, so 4, and then let's make it like 1 inch, one of them 1 inch. Okay, and the other one we're going to make, I don't know, maybe, I'm trying to think of what I want to do. Because this is going to span the card this way. Okay, and then our sentiment's going to go here. So I'm thinking I need another one at like 1.5 inches maybe, just so that there's some overlap. And I am going to cut some daisy the same, or just a little bit shorter, right? So, and I want 1/2 inch off of this at the very least. Probably, actually, let's do a full inch off of this one, because this is going to be the sentiment that will sit right in the middle here, and it's going to sit. This is what's going to hold our twisted easel up. So we're making a twisted easel. Now I want 1/2 inch on this one. This is already 4 inches, so I want 1/2 inch, and that's going to go in the middle here as just a breakup, just to break up your eye a little bit. Then we're going to do, so that I did 1.5 inches here by 1.5 inches by 3 inches, right? So I'm going to do 2 3/4 inch by, so I did 1.5, so let's do 1.25. So all these I can remove. These are all now scraps. This way we have a sentiment card that will fit in the middle there. We have this, and this will all sit on the card like that. Okay, just so it breaks it up. Okay, let's bring in my happiness slips here. Get the zip strip off here. And we're going to trim this down to 3.5. So my card is going to be a 4x4. I'm going to have a daisy in between this and the background. So I want several of these. I want 2 of these. Okay, so I need 3.5 by 3.5, and another 3.5. And the second one that I did, I'm going to chop diagonally Just trim this down like so. Those off to the side. I need a 3 3/4, 2 3 3/4 inch squares. 3 3/4. That's not quite 3 3/4. So let's just do 3 3/4 here, and then we'll trim it again. 3 3/4. Guess we could have used that 1/2 inch. Huh? Should have done those first. That's okay. All right. So that is it for that portion for the cutting. I'm going to switch my cutter out for my scoring tool. Now, if you don't know about the scoring tool, one thing that I have learned is make sure that it is running on one side of the wire or the other. If it's running right on top, it'll cut the paper, not score it. So just make sure you push in kind of to the side when you score, and you know which side you're pushing to. It'll help you in the long run. So let's grab our little canary, and I want the dark side up. I'm just going to score it right in the middle at 4 inches. Okay, so you're going to score twice. You're going to score right in the middle. Then you're going to take it and you're going to score from this, the top corner, top left, to the middle bottom right. And by middle, I mean at that seam that we just did. Oops. Sounded almost like I trimmed my paper. Okay. So there's my scores. Hopefully you can see those. Okay, I'm going to just fold these. No, I never trust my score line. I always line it up anyway. And then the score will just fold, make a nice crisp fold. Don't just trust it because it won't always fold right on that score line. Like this one. This one actually almost cut through the paper, it sounds like. So we'll just have to be gentle with it. Okay, so there's my twisted easel. That's how it's going to stand up. Okay, so let's go ahead and decorate this card. Oh, I need my trimmer back. I forgot to cut one of these. One of these have to be cut in half too, on the diagonal. So let's just trim it down. And if you didn't know, on the wire trimmer there is a notch up. I guess it's on the bottom. I use my trimmer upside down. So it's on the bottom. For those of you who are looking for an easier way of getting those little things out. Okay, there. That will work. Okay, so I'm just going to take my Tombow. This is a really fast and easy fun fold. If you're looking for a fun fold for, you know, a birthday or something special, wedding. Okay, I'm just going to trim these or paste them right in the middle of these triangles. There we go. Then same with this one. And this just breaks up my pattern versus, you know, it's another coordinating cardstock is really what it's acting as. So it just breaks it up just a tiny bit more for your eyes. So I can use one on the inside and one on the outside, and I might do that. So I might just use this one on the inside. Nope, I guess not because I taped to the wrong side. That's okay. Still makes it very pretty even though it'll both be the same thing. If you've ever been a part of my workshops, you know that I do that often. I mean, do one side and I tape it instead. Pretty silly. Okay. This is just going to go right in the middle of Daisy. Again, Daisy is just acting as another coordinating cardstock. If you don't want Daisy, you can use another coordinating cardstock. I'm trying to use up my canary. Canary is going away, so I'm trying to use up my colors that are not going to be around next year, because really I don't need them. I'm trying to use up all my old papers, trying to use up all my old colors, kind of stuff. Okay, so now it's kind of, so this is going to be, I'm going to want this more like this type of card, and then I'm going to have this butterfly sit up here. So the butterfly is going to sit like this, and then it's going to twist. So I actually probably want it more like this. And it doesn't matter because it'll still fit in the envelope, because remember the envelopes are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So as long as only 1/4 is hanging over, I'm okay, because this is a 4-inch thing. So, but I am going to go ahead and get these guys in here. So I think because that's the light side on the inside, I'm going to use the dark side on there. And I'm going to keep it about 1/4 inch above the bottom of the pattern paper. Daisy, it doesn't matter because it's Daisy and it's white, both sides. Okay, so like I said, it's just to keep it, keep your eye kind of breaking it up a little bit. Okay, now I got to stamp my sentiment. This is my sentiment area, and I am going to use this. The same stamps that I'm hoping to anyway. I didn't measure, so we'll see. But I really like this wishing you the happiest of birthdays. I think that's what it says. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. So this is going to be a birthday card. Here's my nice little sentiment. Now, if you're local, I have a workshop at the library. It's free. You just have to make sure that you call or message them on Facebook and let them know that you're interested. And then that way they can put you down for it. Plan on having 20. I doubt that it'll fill up. So if you are local, that should be a really fun workshop. We're doing 3 cards. So I would love to see you there. That's Saturday at 1. Okay, I'm just going to put this right in the middle, and I'm using black. I'm using intense black, and the reason being is that my archival, which is my favorite, is all packed away for that workshop. So I'm trying to get ready for it, and I don't want to forget things like my favorite ink, because that would just be sad. Right? Nobody wants to forget their favorite ink. Okay, so now that that's good, I'm just going to glue this down. Now what you're going to want to make sure you do is on this portion, after I glue this portion down, we need some 3D foam tape on this. And the reason being is it needs to pop up so that it can stay propped. That easel can stay propped. So even if you just add a couple in here, again, you don't have to take the backing off of all of them, just the 2 ends. Saves some mess too if you do it that way. And I still want that pattern paper showing down here, so I'm going to put it there. And this way your middle doesn't squish. That's why I put a middle one in there, so it doesn't squish down. Okay, so now when the recipient opens it, they can prop it up. Okay, so now it'll prop up on its own. It'll stay like that. It's cute. And now I wanted to fussy cut this before I got on here, but ran out of time. I got to organizing, really. Trying to get all my papers organized because we have some beautiful new colors. And if you're not in the VIP or Elite group, and you haven't seen those yet, unless you've seen them on somebody else's page, they are gorgeous, and I'll be sharing those soon. I'll be doing a catalog walkthrough, a dual catalog walkthrough of what I have, and then a quick flip of the actual catalogs. So I'll be sharing papers with you very shortly. The papers are so pretty, and we have a lot of papers in the core catalog to play with this year. In fact, I'm going to be doing some albums with the new papers too. So you'll be seeing those because they're going to be a year in review. So if you guys want to jump on board with those too, it'll be a lot like the subscriptions that you get in the mail with Close to My Heart, but designed completely by me and cut by me. And of course there will be Cricut cuts in there, stamping in there. The only thing I require is that you guys have your own base pages. But I'll be hopefully showing the first 4 pages of that at the beginning of September. So you'll get 1 per month the year. And it's geared towards kids, but we can always customize it for adults. Okay, there's my butterfly. Fussy cut out. Okay, so now is the fun part, right? Everybody loves coloring. So I want kind of coral, pink, let's do ice blue and gray. Ice gray, because that's really the bluebell kind. I don't really have a sagey green. Let's do citrus, yellow. And I think that's probably all I want. Some of them kind of muted colors. So that's what I'm going to be using. Now I don't have to have all of it colored in. I think I'm just going to focus on the really big flowers. And so I think I'm going to do dark center on each of these. So I'm just doing these ones that have the really big petals. So when you're coloring, you don't have to color everything. In fact, sometimes it's nice not to. It's your eye to other things. And I think I want coral as an accent in these, so I'm just going to be doing the insides. Let's just do all the way around first. So I used intense black on this because I'm coloring. I'll blend all this out. You don't have to be clean with it unless you're really wanting to. I'm never clean with my markers. Quite messy, actually. I'm just going to get in these little nooks and crannies too, just because they are hidden, covered up. So just little accents where I know that they're being covered. Got these two little guys down here. And these two over here. Now this one is pretty symmetrical, which is nice. So you know kind of where you need to be. If you've done one side, you can do the same on the other, which is nice. Oh, I forgot that guy. I got him over there. Okay, so now I'm going to use this pale pink. I probably should have used the dark on the coral. It's really, they're both very pale when you do the pale. I'm noticing. Alright, let's just play around with it. That's better. So let's just go back through. Again, I'm not being clean, being rather messy. If you haven't used these Spectrum Noirs, they're amazing. I love them. I've been using them for over a year now, and I am so in love with these markers. They're just amazing. In fact, almost everybody who buys them says, "Why didn't I do this earlier?" My favorite markers ever. And they are. They're mine anyway. And in fact, I might just do dark just to give it some more color. And that actually is pretty close to the colors in here. So it's not too far off, I don't think. So I'm just going to do circles. Do this guy. Just blending out. I usually start in the dark and I go out from there. We're getting there. Kind of one-dimensional right now, and just this one color flower. I may do more just because really it is kind of one-dimensional. Might do these little spiky flowers in blue. And it wouldn't be hard to do either. They're fast, right? Now you can leave it one-dimensional if you really want the colors to only be highlighted with certain colors. Getting closer, yeah. This is probably what's going to take up most of my time today. Just kind of blending out. Just 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 blending Now don't forget that these markers do bleed in the back. So I wouldn't color on anything that you want to keep. So make sure that you're using like your Versamat or all-purpose mat or a spare piece of paper or something like that, a scratch piece, because these do bleed. And so a lot of the time I don't use them if they're going to see the back of these either, because they do bleed. So what you could also do is you could trace this around another scrap piece of paper, or not a scrap piece, but coordinated cardstock. And you can always, and I might do that because I messed up when I was stamping, so you can see, actually that turned out really kind of cool because I got it right on. That is unusual, isn't it? Well, that was pretty cool. That is never happening thing, huh? Okay, I'm going to just do ice gray because really that's pretty close to a bluebell color once you go over with light blue. So I'm doing a light ice gray, I think. Yep, light ice gray. And I just want some of these. I'm not going to choose all of them. I'm only going to do some. So maybe copy these, right? Because butterflies are usually symmetrical. So I'll do these ones here. And I forgot a pink one there. Yeah. So we'll just do this. There we go. Okay, so then I need this one. And this guy over here. I think that's it. So I only did 4. Then I'm going to use my ice blue and I'm going to go over it with the light side on just those grays. And it like makes it a bit more subdued. Actually looks more like Carolina. If you use the dark gray on the ice gray, then it will look like bluebell. So it's kind of nice to figure out what blends work for your colors. I think the two that I use for the pink, the coral and the light pink, or the pale pink, I think those work really well for peach. Could probably use the pale pink for ballerina, just the single pale pink. So a little bit more dimension now that I have the blue on there, which I like. I'm going to only paste his bottom half because if you paste his top half, he's not going to come off of that easel. It's not going to look right. Okay, so now when you turn him up, now he sits up. So there's the card. Thanks for playing with me, and hopefully you guys got to scrap along. And if you did, post your creations down below in the comments. I'd love to see them. Share the video, like the video. It helps me out. It helps everybody out to see new ways of doing things, and gets people crafting. So we'll see you on Saturday.